Welcome to today's deep dive. Imagine popping the hood of a high-performance sports car, expecting to see a massive radiator,
Right, yeah.
but somebody completely removed it. And yet, the engine is running perfectly ice cold. You'd probably think it was magic.
Or, an engineering mistake just waiting to explode. I mean, high output usually guarantees massive friction, heat, and noisy fans working overtime just to keep the whole machine from melting down.
Exactly. And that exact same heat and noise problem has plagued commercial audio systems for decades. But today we're looking at something that solves it. We're looking at the specs for the QSC SPA4-60 4-channel amplifier from HDTVSupply.
Yeah, it looks like a basic black box, but it is actually a masterclass in modern efficient engineering.
Okay, let's unpack this, because
Yeah.
you really have to look at its physical footprint first.
Right. It is a 1U half rack width box, so basically the size of a thick hardcover book, and it is pushing 4 channels of up to 60 watts each. But the spec sheet claims it uses absolutely no active cooling fans.
Wait, zero fans?
Or-
Like none at all?
No.
Because I've seen the inside of AV closets and server rooms and, everything needs a fan. If you shove a high-powered amplifier into a closed cabinet without one, isn't it just going to cook itself?
Well, you'd think so if it were built the old way. Older amplifiers act a bit like dimmer switches. They constantly pull a high amount of power.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and whatever they don't use to boost the audio signal, they literally burn off as heat. That is why they require those loud spinning fans just to survive. But what's fascinating here is that this unit uses an advanced Class D amplifier design.
And how does that help with the heat exactly?
So it functions more like a hyperfast light switch. Instead of burning off excess voltage, a Class D amp turns its power supply completely on and completely off thousands of times a second.
Oh, wow. Thousands of times.
Yeah, it only draws exactly what it needs for the sound at that exact millisecond. So almost no wasted energy means almost no heat generation.
So it can just rely on the ambient air to cool down?
Completely. It is convection cooled, which guarantees silent operation. Plus, removing fans means removing the primary moving parts that gather dust and eventually break down over time.
Right, yeah. But getting rid of the heat seems to unlock some other software-level tricks, too. I mean, I'm looking at this auto-ramp circuitry.
Oh, yeah, that part is brilliant.
It says the unit powers down after exactly 28 minutes of inactivity and wakes up without that awful audio pop you sometimes hear. So it's essentially taking a highly calibrated power nap whenever a sports bar or a corporate boardroom gets quiet.
It is. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this isn't just about a company grabbing an EnergyStar sticker for their marketing.
Yeah.
Think about a massive commercial space, like a Vegas sports book or a giant corporate campus.
Oh, sure. With dozens of zones. The
Mhm.
passive power draw on a system that size must be massive if it's left on all day and night.
Staggering. But by putting itself to sleep when you aren't actively using it, these automated micro-savings drastically reduce long-term operational costs. I mean, it saves money every single minute it is idle.
Okay, so it handles the quiet moments efficiently. But what happens when that sports bar buys the building next door and suddenly needs to double its speaker count? Here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, the bridgeable outputs.
Exactly. The specs highlight that you can literally combine the channels to push up to 100 watts into low impedance, or 125 watts into 70-volt or 100-volt loads.
Let's translate that for a second. So in audio engineering, you have low Z and high Z setups.
Right.
Low Z, or low impedance, is basically your standard localized stereo setup, like a couple of high-quality speakers in a small VIP lounge.
Got it. And the 70-volt stuff.
Think of a 70-volt system like high-voltage power lines for the electrical grid. It allows you to push an audio signal across massive distances without losing power.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so you'd use that to run a giant daisy chain of, say, 30 ceiling speakers across a huge restaurant floor.
Ah, so this one tiny box can do either. It shapeshifts based on what the venue actually needs.
It does, and because it handles all this without fans, it changes where you can put it.
Oh, right, the mounting brackets.
Exactly. It has these clever brackets that let you hide it directly under a conference table or, mounted flush against a wall behind a TV.
Right.
You completely bypass the need for a dedicated, bulky server rack.
So what does this all mean? For you, whether you are the person wiring a massive commercial space or you're just paying the utility bills, adaptability and silent efficiency are the new gold standards.
This raises an important question.
What's that?
With audio infrastructure becoming this invisible, silently cooling itself, hiding under our tables and sleeping the second we aren't talking, How long until architectural design entirely dictates our technology?
Right. Instead of our buildings having to be built around noisy, dedicated server rooms,
Exactly.
it all comes back to that sports car without a radiator. Once you don't have to build around the heat and the noise, you can completely change the shape of the machine.